Hello, and welcome to the Me, Myself, and I Sologamy podcast by Bruce Lavelle. Whether you're tuning in for the first time or you're a returning listener, we are thrilled to have you here. In this podcast, we dive into the concept of sologamy, the practice of marrying oneself, and explore the empowering and sometimes controversial aspects of the unique relationship status. Join us as we discuss self-love, independence, and the journey to become your own partner. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation as we dive into the world of sologamy. Let's get started. Do you often feel like you're the victim in your relationships? It's time to break free from that victim mentality and start empowering yourself in love. Traits of someone with a victim mentality in relationships include constant feelings of powerlessness, blaming others for their own unhappiness, and consistent sense of being trapped in their circumstances. For example, going back to a toxic ex and then talking about them on social media or within their social circle is having a victim mentality because it portrays a sense of powerlessness and seeking validation from others. It may indicate that individual is unable to break free from the toxic relationship and is still seeking attention or sympathy from others by discussing their ex in a negative light. Like Cardi B and Offset situation, where she talked about her husband on social media, was about to file for divorce, then all of a sudden she's having her third child by him. Additionally, it perpetrates a cycle of victimhood by constantly rehashing the negative aspects of the relationship and seeking affirmation from others. It may also suggest a lack of personal responsibility and unwillingness to move on and focus on their own healing and growth. Instead of perpetrating a victim mentality, it is important to seek support from friends, family, or professionals and focus on self-care, healing, and building healthier relationships in the future. It may also be beneficial to address any underlying issues that may be contributing to the pattern of returning to toxic relationships. But it doesn't have to stay that way. Here are some steps to help you move on from the victim mentality to an empowerment mentality in your relationships. Number 1, take responsibility for your own happiness and well-being. Instead of blaming others, work on identifying, addressing your own needs and desires. Communicate your needs openly and assertively. Don't be afraid to ask for what you want and need in your relationships. And lastly, set boundaries and stick to them. You deserve to be treated with respect and kindness, and it's okay to enforce boundaries to protect yourself. By taking these steps, you can transition from a victim mentality to an empowerment mentality in your relationships. Here are some scenarios and examples to illustrate this transformation. Traits of an empowerment mentality in relationships include confidence in oneself, a willingness to address and resolve conflicts, and a sense of agency in shaping one's own happiness. An example of having an empowerment mentality about a toxic ex could be acknowledging the toxic behavior and choosing to prioritize one's own well-being by setting boundaries and seeking support from friends, family, or a therapist. This can involve recognizing that the toxic ex behavior is not a reflection of one's worth and taking steps to move on from the relationship in a healthy and positive way. It could also involve focusing on the personal growth and learning from experience to prevent similar toxic dynamics in future relationships. Ultimately, by embracing an empowerment mentality, you can foster healthier, more fulfilling relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. It's time to stop being the victim in your relationships and start empowering yourself to create the love and happiness you deserve. Take the first step towards a more positive and fulfilling relationship today. Always remember, love yourself unapologetically. Until next time.